Hello and welcome to the Leverage Podcast. I'm your host, Paul Richard, and we are privileged to have in our studio today at Riverside, Sean Martinez with the Tuning Element. Sean, it's good to have you with us.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you for having me. It's a blessing. It's an honor.
Well, thank you. And we've had the chance to get to know each other a little bit better through our networking events and networking meetings. And so I really cherish you as a brother in the Lord, and a lot of time spent recently together and just talking and getting to know you better. I've really enjoyed that. And so for our listeners, give us a little background on Sean and how you got to where you are today. Is that a good place to start? I think it is. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. It, it- okay, well, let me sum it up. 3 letters, one word, God. Because I didn't start out. I started out rough. It's not always how you. It's not how you start, but how you finish. And let me tell you, I had a rough beginning. So God straightened me out along my journey, and has set me upright. And along with that, given us opportunities and ideas, because He put an entrepreneurial spirit in me. And because that means you have to go against the grain when you do stuff like that. And along that journey, he's, when you catch a fish, you got to clean them. So he's put that also, that uh, missionary spirit in me and my family as well. So what we've done in our company, we go out and we do a lot of mission work, and we go all over the world. We've gone all over the world and just bless people with the word of God, what God has done for us. We should share those plain outright testimonies from having nothing and starting from nowhere and making all the mistakes. That becomes the testimony, and that becomes the hope and the inspiration.
That's awesome. And so today, you are, I met your family a little bit. So, your wife and your daughter, and, actually both of your daughters.
Yep.
And so super excited to do that. And so your family's here in Branson, Missouri, and you run a company called the Tuning Element. Is that a franchise, or is that something you started? Or tell me a little bit about the beginnings of the Tuning Element.
We started from zero, my friend. There was spent a month looking for a name, and when it had to have all the components that I needed it to have. And I remember doing a name search on it, and there was no I could get all the domain names I wanted, because they were all there, because it had never been put together the way we had put it, called Tuning Element.
Very, very interesting.
Yeah.
And so there's a product, or at least one or more products behind the Tuning Element. And so how did this all even start? What was the birth of Tuning Element? How did it start?
Wow. Yes. Well, it starts from pain. Come on, as it always starts. It starts from pain. Being young, and then being full of just entrepreneurial spirit. I went to school in China, if that gives you any indication, way back when, and come back to the United States, and just start running and doing business. And as I did that, made a lot of mistakes. But along with that, when I was in China, I had met my girlfriend, who became my wife. Can you imagine? So
Wow. I love it.
I had I had found a China doll. She's from Taiwan. She was working in China, and I was going to school there in Beijing. And so as as we got married, the pain comes from the challenges that she had in her own health, since a child. So as an entrepreneur, and not having all this formal education in the area of business, of what not to do other than just what to do, and put it in all that order, there was mistakes along the way, and but we pushed through them. But being so focused on business, Paul, as I think a lot of us guys are definitely focused on, we have to do it, we have to provide for our family, and it becomes, the thing we hide behind, as it was for me. So with that, you don't necessarily realize some of the damage that you create, and not being able to to adequately take care of my wife as far as health concerns and needs are. Um, I've always felt like a failure in that area. So we worked 24 hours. I would work, I mean, 18 hours a day, 22 hours a day. That was no big deal for me. I just didn't want to be poor. So,
So, so question for you. Take us back. Why were you in China? Was that where you were raised? Is that where you just decided to go to school? How is the connection for you being there?
well, okay, I wanted to do business. That's what I wanted to go there for. A lot of the manufacturing was there, and as it even is today, I wanted to do something different that average people don't do. I just want. That's who I am. I like to do things that people don't normally do. If everybody's doing it, I don't want to do it. It's too common. That's just how I'm written, and so I had the opportunity to go with my father, and I went. I went. It was the greatest time that I ever. I'm on the other side of the world. I'm climbing the Great Wall while you guys are eating your Wheaties every morning. Here I am on the other side of the world doing the absolutely wild things that normally people don't even have the interest, if not the opportunity.
I was eating all brand. My mom always made me eat all brand.
Uh, I'll never forget coming back home from China. I was we were I lived in a normal average block, city block, and I remember looking at all the cars. I've been around the world, I've been in China, and I had been through quite a few cities and climbed a few mountains, and every car was parked in the exact place as when I left the year prior. And that's when I realized the impact of what I had done. I've gone around the world and met people from all over the world, and just in a phenomenal time. So, but that's why I wanted to go. I want to do business. That was my heart, to do business.
So I mean, your business now is related to what I would term natural health,
Mhm.
and it's a very special, niche that you have. It was any inspiration for you from Chinese medicine, or were you influenced by Chinese medicine at all in your pursuit of this?
That what came out later on, after my wife and I got married. That was after we started Tuning Element. That came through, but where the inspiration came for what we do now came from the as my wife was growing up. She just had just a variety of different health issues. Her body couldn't sweat, which caused all kinds of other issues, and the heart issues. And so just I was, even though I was so entrepreneurial and business minded, um, I was one sided. I always saw the rainbow on the other side, and didn't didn't necessarily see all the alligators along the path. And so made a lot of challenges. Have created a lot of challenges. I'll tell you that right now. But the one thing that kept me was, um, my wife needed me. I needed to help her along the way. So we went back to Taiwan every year, and we'd go see naturopaths, or even her family is all natural doctors. So we would see things, and I would remember hearing Uncle say, from a naturopath perspective, a Chinese doctor perspective, he would say things, and I'd be like, this guy, he's different. He'd look at her complexion and say, oh, this is the problem. He'd look at her eyes, this is the problem. He'd look at her, just her body language, and he just knew the answer right away. And I always thought, I don't get it. But later on down the road, that really came to help in shape, and to research what that looks like in the body, the energy system of the body. So yeah, it really did later on.
That's cool.
But
That's cool.
but I
And
will
then,
I will tell you
so
this.
what time frame was that? What years was that?
So Tuning Element was birthed in 2010. when I was 33 years old. So, but it was several years prior to that that the inspiration
Okay.
came. Then you had to have you had to, I had to look for the research. I had to look for people. I had a, I had an entrepreneurial spirit to help my wife, and that's where the catalyst came from, of being able to, for me personally, my health hasn't been an issue. I mean, me and my family, we can eat junk, literally. We could go eat rocks and literally garbage, and we're fine. But on my wife's side, if she gets close to garbage food, she's already having an issue. So you see what I mean? And so having two different people from different worlds, not understanding the chemistry. Um, yes, there's a balance, but a harmony is really what I wanted to just speak to, that harmony of what that looks like. And just for me, I was always abusing my body, didn't know the difference. I didn't have to sleep. She needed 10 hours of sleep, 12 hours of sleep. Um, now if I got 2 and 3 and tops 4, that took me for the next day or two.
Gotcha. So, in when you were helping her out, was that here in the state, back here in the States, primarily with her health, or was that there in China?
Oh, that was here. After I went to school in China, I moved back home, and I'm born and raised in New Mexico. But back in 2000, we moved to Missouri, and we never looked back since. So Tuning Element is actually birthed here in the Ozarks.
Oh, no kidding. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Very
We
good.
It was a God idea. It was a very hard time of our lives at that time. There's a transition God was doing. He was shaking us to the core, and trying to get my attention to change my lifestyle, and to put my focus on Him. And this is when all this happened.
Absolutely. Now, okay, so for our listeners, they probably don't know what tuning element is. Give us a brief explanation of, what it is and what I guess the engineering behind it, the energy idea that you shared with me in other meetings. Tell us a little bit about that. What's the tuning element all about?
The Tuning Element is all about energy. So it's an energy modality, but it's not just any energy source. It's the body's natural energy source. We're utilizing that and helping it, supporting it to be efficient. And our goal is always to be the most efficient. So another terminology would be homeostasis, a natural homeostasis, something that's operating at its top efficiency. Okay, so what does that look like? The none of our products have a battery source, because we're talking about energy. Okay, they don't. We
Yep.
utilize the body's energy source. We utilize the cells of the body are act like batteries. So we utilize that source, but the way that they communicate between the two cells, they have to talk, right? And so when that communication has dissonance or static, if you will, the efficiency of the body goes down. And for some people, a lot, depending on sickness, depending on disease, depending on age, depending on stress, all of those good things, all of those things that can harm our body, they'll impact our body tremendously. So though that communication between the cells, it weakens tremendously.
So, if you're counseling somebody the first time about this and getting them to understand what is it, is it a product? Is it an ointment you put on, or what's the actual physical piece of this?
Okay, so Now we're talking about energies and frequencies, correct? But very specific to how the body functions. So what we do is we have over the years been able to figure out how to take these very specific wavelengths. Okay, they call them the electromagnetic frequencies or extremely low electromagnetic frequencies, and then we can embed them into our product line. So our product line kind of looks like this. So we'll have for one. Is a patch product. And what it looks like is you'll see right here, this is these little squares are 6 patches. And what you'll want to do is take one, they apply just similar to like a temporary tattoo, but it's the way they're made. And then on top of that, it's the technology we embed into it. And then what you'll want to do is apply that to the body, and it looks just like that, like skin. It's not going to come off. It's not going to fall
Hmm.
off. You can get it wet. It'll last for anywhere from 3 days to a week. We also utilize different product materials as well, such as jewelry. So we'll be able to take the same technology and embed these same specific frequency wavelengths into different product lines, such as even in water containers. And so let me give you an example. So when we infuse our these specific energy wavelengths into our product line, when you put water into this bottle, okay, you pour it in there and you wait just 60 seconds and you take a drink of the water, you can notice a difference that fast. And it'll taste softer, it'll taste sweeter. You can do that with juices, but water you can definitely notice. If you're not a water drinker, you will be a water drinker after you try the water from our what we call Aquatune bottles. That's the product line that we do, because what happens to the molecules of the water cell, they come in alignment. And so when things are out of alignment, it doesn't taste so good. Just like communication doesn't doesn't you hear someone say something and it's across the room and you kind of hear it, but you don't hear it. But when you're next to each other, you can hear it very clearly. So that's the primary language of the body is energy, and energy is communication.
Got it. Now, okay. So in my engineering mind, I'm thinking, okay, so in the water bottle scenario, um, is it electroplated on the inside with certain elements like copper or whatever, or is that how? I mean, how would you get it into the drinking bottle? It's probably patented, but can you give me an idea of what happened, how that's done?
Yes, and I okay, so yes, it's our proprietary technology that remember we going back to the 2 years prior, 2010, that it took a lot of research. So during that time, I went out and I told you in the beginning, I'm a godly fearing man. I prayed a lot, asked God. I read, looked, researched, hired different type of researchers out there. Let me tell you, I went and knocked on doors and got bits and pieces from a variety of different resources. And then God blessed us with an opportunity back in 2010 to be able to put this together, start with a certain product, the same product that was able to help my wife um, go from her really challenged health state. By the way, today she is 54. She is living in her most highest quality life. She can do things that she could never do before in her prime of life. At the age of 47, she gave birth to our third child, and all natural, and all due to her body being able to function correctly.
So what application was she doing? Was she doing the patch
Mhm.
in the water bottle and other things, the jewelry too, or what was she doing?
Yeah. Okay. So we have been able to advance the technologies, and what that means is, you start basically, there's like probably your audience is very familiar with grounding. A
Yes.
grounding basic understanding of that. And I'm going to have to use a little bit of biblical terminology on that. But if you go back to Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, it says how God created man, and that was from the dust. So we must touch the dust. We're topsoil, so we must go and get back to the topsoil and walk on the earth. Okay, so we get grounded, and what that means for our body is it recharges our body's cells because they act as a battery. So when we do that, we're doing great. We're doing much better, and many people, I'm sure in your audience, well understand that. And if they don't, they need to go walk on the ground barefooted. This has been going on for thousands of years since the beginning of time. So we have a lot more understanding if you want to get online and look all those studies up. But what we've done from there is we've gone further onto the technology. So through time over the past 16 years, we've been able to look at different results we wanted. Okay, we wanted sleep, so we created a sleep product, a sleep necklace. Well, what does that look like? In the when you go to bed at night, your energy changes. So we're able to take an understanding of that and a snapshot of that energy, and then replicate that into one of our products. And then when you put that on, you can just feel this calming effect. It's not going to put you to sleep, but it's a calming effect. And it's a beautiful feel. If you like me, that doesn't need that so many hours of sleep, and as you get older, you need more, but you don't want it. You don't want to. Within the short amount of hours that you do take, you can go down to a much deeper level of sleep and then feel refreshed. It's just a beautiful thing. I use that product every night. So,
Uh, one of maybe a mutual friend, but one of my friends, she represents a product that's called Beamer. Are you familiar with the Beamer product?
the Beamer, correct? Yes.
Yeah, and now
Mhm.
that's electromagnetic waves that is generated electrically and then transferred through the body. Is there any similar effects of that particular device and the tuning element device? Is there any similarity there?
Oh, sure, sure. When you're looking at extremely low electromagnetic frequencies, operating in the same wavelength of cells, the way they operate, yeah, you're gonna get similar uh, re- benefits.
Okay.
So
Uh,
that'll always be the case, but there is differences.
sure, sure. I'm just trying to wrap my mind around it a little bit as we're talking here. We haven't really talked in detail, you and I, about product wise, that type of thing, and or at least not into the technology. And it's just out of curiosity on that. So, in the did you study Rife at all in your
Mhm.
studies and
Sure.
his what he was doing?
Sure. Oh, yeah. Everybody has to study Rife. Rife is the forefather of so many energy modalities of that we utilize today in technology. So you better believe it. On the idea for tuning element is always for life, not just Rife, but instead of disease focused.
Yeah.
We how can we get the result we desire? If it's better sleep, if it's pain relief, if it's your body, your muscles feeling looser, you're under stress, and how does that communicate you feeling better? So we have mood products, mood, dealing with mood, and it has to deal with the hormonal system. So what what does that look like? That's how we focus on the products of tuning element. We focus on the result we want. What systems are and organs are being um, utilized in that end result, and then we go forth and we do a just a heavy research on how we can support that. And then what we do is we do studies along the journey to make sure we are on point.
Got it. Now, so there is different frequencies is what I mean. Is that what differentiates the effect
Yes,
essentially?
that's
Okay.
exactly it.
Eh,
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So tell me or share with me how each one of your products has a different effect. So, like you said, is there one that's calming, one that's energizing, one that's what are all the different effects that you're talking about?
Okay, so our main product line is going to be dealing with uh, just homeostasis of the body. So we have a jewelry line. We have our Aquatune bottles that are in that. Our mood products. We have products for what we call Be Well, and what that means is it's called bio energetic wellness. And what that was created for was for essentially children that had ADD, ADHD, and autistic, was on the spectrum. So my director of research came to me way back 2015 and said, "Hey, we need to create a product. Can you do that?" Well, we went to work on that. We went to work. It was several years in the making. We did studies on that, and what the point was is we have to focus on the hormonal system with the gut working together, because if you've ever heard when they're talking about the spectrum, oh, that's a, that diet. There's a big diet issue along with that. When the chemical state of the stomach is off, we're going to do crazy things, let alone children. All of us are. So how could we bring the balance in with the hormonal system, particularly the pituitary gland? So that was the focus on that. What does that communication, that restoration, that communication look like? We were able to, through the different variations, we were able to come with a product that was so happy. And then it worked out. We had kids in the study calling it the Happy Patch, because we put it in the form of a patch. We also had created that here recently in the form of a necklace as well. So yeah, it's a beautiful product. I wear it too. But during COVID, okay, so Paul, imagine this. The world shuts down, right? 2020 comes and everybody's stressed. Hey, I'm stressed. I mean, everybody's stressed. The world shuts down. It looks like it's going to end, right? And what we found out during that particular season is that everybody's stressed. So we started wearing the Be Well products on, and we only had patches at the time. We didn't have our necklaces. And guess what? People started feeling better. Our office staff started feeling better. Our dealers out there started feeling better. And so we don't just sell it as a on spectrum or ADD, ADHD product. We sell that as a behavioral product. Hence the name Behavioral Energetic Wellness. So if you have high stress going on right now, this is a phenomenal product for you.
Okay, so yeah, let's talk about that. So the people that would need this are, would you say your primary clients are those that just want to maintain the good health they already have?
Okay, so in short, the answer is yes. The reason for it is and the reason why you can utilize that in our product is, first of all, there's no side effects. Okay, did you hear that again? Everybody
No
just
side
just
effects.
dropped
Yeah.
off. No side effects, and we're not used to terminology like that. Even from different technologies that are, they're plugged into the wall, and there's a lot of great technologies out there that support the body's health. But when they're plugged into a wall, there may be some other issues down the road. With Tuning Element, we utilize the body's energy system, so there is no battery source, but what is the battery source is our own body. So if you have a body that's alive, you are definitely can benefit from our products, because everything that's in our product line is all on the natural side of how the body transfers information between cells. So there's no ill, there's no negative. That's one of our first studies we ever did way back in 2015. Is there's no known side effects in any of our products.
Okay. Is so for example, okay, so the aqua product, is that like changing the alkalinity of the water, or what is it, just changing the vibration of the water molecules? What's happening in there?
Okay, well, always and always and always, pH balance is a value of the energy. It's a measurement of energy. So that's a really good way to think about what pH balance is. From 0 to 14, and our body should be somewhere in the middle. So therefore, water should have that somewhere in the middle as well. Middle plus, so 7.3, 7.4 is the ideal pH of water, not 8, not 9 or 10 or 11 or any of those other high numbers. Be and I know that there is a market for that, because a lot of times our bodies are real acidic. So to try to bring our bodies up, we'll compensate by going for the high pH water. But our body should sit at a natural pH around 7.3.
Okay,
So what the technology focuses on is the natural balance of the water, not a um, not a forced, high pH, but what is natural to water, therefore will be natural to our body's water, because we're
I
70 to
see.
80% water, or sorry, 70% water average.
Now, okay, so that's affecting the water, and then the water's affecting you when you drink it, obviously. And then the other products, for the most part, are applied or near the skin, right?
Exactly. So we'll have the, like you said, the patch products. We'll also have the jewelry products that will go on, that you'll wear on your body, and we want to put them on the skin itself, because that the closer it is or touching your body, that's our body is 70% water, and we want to make sure it touches the skin of our body. You'll get the best result rather than putting it over your clothing.
Oh, of course. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
That makes
Is
sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. So
Yeah.
when you're putting it on, does it matter where you put those?
It doesn't matter where you put them on, as long as they're on your body. You can put it on your big toe and have a migraine headache and get an effect. And it will definitely do that.
Okay.
You definitely
Okay.
can. You can definitely do that. But I'll tell you this: if you want a faster effect, put it on the behind your back of your neck. Put it closer to the area, and you'll get a much faster result.
Okay. That's cool. And then so you have is there any products we didn't talk about? I was just
We
looking at the
have
website over here on my right. You got jewelry,
sure,
hydration, and
we got pet
patches.
products.
Yep.
Got some pet
And
products. But I do want to
yeah,
go
pet
back to
products.
one thing you asked me earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, how did my wife, at the age of 47, have our third child naturally?
Yes.
No, nothing induced, nothing, no medications. That's a 1 in 3% chance, Paul, to have a natural baby at this stage in life. It's, in other words, it's
Yeah.
unheard of. It's a very small chance
Y-
to have a natural baby like this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let me go back to what was going on at that time, okay? Because we've only talked about grounding frequencies, and in the area of, let's say, the behavioral, we getting to advanced product lines where we be able to focus products to get specific results, all working within the natural spectrum of the way the body functions. It's all about functionality, okay? So at that time, I mean, I had this heavy pull on me. Well, I've always had this since day one, to research out, and of course, I would, Lord, what do I need? How do we go about doing this? And so I've had that since day one in the early days. But this particular time, I had a round two of working on the hormonal system. Like, I wanted a product to help me particularly. Okay, my testosterone was low, overweight, overstressed. I mean, if you pricked me at the time, the blood would have went everywhere. I'm telling you, I was really
Huh.
stressed. Um, and so my idea. So here I am. I want a product that can help my testosterone level come up. Okay. Um, so I spent this is round two. So previous years I had worked on a previous product, and so now I'm developing another one. I'm hoping to develop this next version of it, particularly for me to lose weight and to get my testosterone level up. So I start doing all I get the product to where I think it needs to be. I'm taking blood tests to look at my testosterone levels, and I've done this several times so I can get an accurate account. And so I was working with my director of research, who he was, and he still is. He's still working for us. He's at that time he was 70, almost 80, still in full practice, almost not delivering babies at this time, but still doing full surgical procedures called tummy tucks.
Ah, okay.
Very invasive and not fun at all. 70% of the body is cut. So
Yeah.
that's what he was doing at that time. Um, so we were looking at all this information, all this data, and then I started wearing this product, this patch on me, and my energy was up. I was feeling so good. I started noticing the scales started dropping, and then I told my wife one day. I said, "Look, honey," I said, I feel good. My testosterone's coming up, and I'm losing weight." And as soon as I said losing weight, she said, "What?" She said, "Can I try it?" And again, we're dealing with natural modalities, so it's not going to be a man versus woman thing. I know we get used to um, um, what's traditional medicines out there, and they're invasive. They force the body to do certain things or not to do certain things. This doesn't work like that. This is non-invasive technology. So this is all about the body functioning optimally. So, women just like men have testosterone, and so do men having estrogen and progesterone. So all of these different things, but they're in different natural levels. They're in harmony with our bodies. Okay, not balance, but harmony. Okay. So when my wife started wearing this particular patch, because I put it in a patch form, her her hormonal system started working, and then 1 month later she came to me and said, "Uh oh." And if you're a guy and a husband and you have a family, you know what that is about. And when we started Tuning Element, we also knew in the beginning of 2010, 11, and 12, for almost 3 years, we had four miscarriages. I think it was four miscarriages. The body was working, but it wasn't enough. The energy was grounding, but it wasn't enough in the hormonal system. So this particular product really supported her and mine hormonal systems to function in a way that was efficient, that we could support life again. And therefore we had in 2018, September of that year, we had our third baby. Healthy, whole, everything was great. And she's in first grade right now, just doing amazing.
So, yeah, so everything was healthy. Like you said, it was all
Mhm.
natural birth
All
and
natural.
everything. And then now was, I guess the question I have is, I've been that Beamer product. They were talking about it the other day in one of my meetings, and one of the guys was saying they use it on their groin for prostate issues, or at least to avoid prostate issues and that type of thing. Have you seen benefits of the Tuning Element product to that as well?
Um, yeah, we hear things all the time. We hear all kinds of amazing things. The focal point is for what here. This is what drives all of the research that we do. It's not about the sickness. We're not sickness focused. We are life focused. So yes, we've heard amazing testimonies in this area, but the focus isn't what we don't want. It's if you have more, and think of it this way: think of energy and money are very similar. The more When you have more money, what are you thinking? You're not thinking of how much does it cost, and we need just one, or well, maybe we'll get it next month. No, you're looking at options of how many clothes does it come in. You know, you see what I mean? How many can I have? What clothes does it come in? And so that's the beauty of when you have in reserve. When you have things in reserve, when you have energy in reserve, you're not thinking, uh-oh, I'm going to be sore tomorrow. No. When your body is functioning, the soreness is a minimal thing, because now that lactic acid doesn't conjugate in the muscles. So one of the ways I use our product is for going to the gym. So because I don't like to get sore, though I get sore, I'm sore every week. But I will put um, patches on my body depending on what muscle I'm going to be doing. And guess what? I minimize that soreness even to the point of no soreness. Or I'm still a little stiff, but I'm not like when I don't use patches. Dude, does that so your body's flowing? There's no stagnation, because again, we're not young anymore, Paul. I mean, sorry,
Right.
we're young. We're not as young as we used to be, but the natural process of life, we need to be aware of certain things, and so this is one way. That's one of the modalities how I use the product, and it works amazingly.
That's awesome. Are there any studies that would, show results or anything like that? I know a lot of you had to do a lot of research. Are there any studies after showing effects or things of that nature?
Oh yeah. If you get on our website, if you go into the science part, you can read up on studies that we have, papers that we have, and they're peer reviewed. If you get on researchgate.net, which is
Yeah,
if you know about that site, it's for researchers and doctors, and it's kind of like the LinkedIn of the research world, medical research world. Well, we're on there, and you'll find 7 different studies by us. If you pull up my name, if you pull up our director of research's name, Dr. Brosselvan, our other researcher from out of our MIT, Dr. Kosick. Irina Kosick is another name. She's a very big read. She created the modality of, it's called RRM, the resonant recognition model. So if anybody's familiar with that, she works for companies all over the world, and what she does and the algorithm she created. We work with her. So she studied our products, and then she has, we have write-ups. We've been written up in one of the medical books, and I can't tell you right now, escapes me right now, but we have some studies out there. So yes, that's why I can boldly tell you that we have no side effects. That was our first study in 2015 with MSU. That was boldly stated that there was no side effects. In one of our studies with Irina Kosick, that there is our products work similar to what traditional medicine works on, but without the side effects. That is very specifically stated after the research and in the conclusion. Um, we have a study on our several studies on our Be Well products. We have a study on, let me think, on um, uh, acupuncture. We did a study on acupuncture of 100 patients, where it prolongs within that, from week to week visit. It'll prolong the beautiful effects of the body and its energy and its communication. So that's on there also. And one of the really beautiful things, studies that we did. Oh boy, I didn't even come prepared on this one, but we have this product called Beauty Mist. Okay, you ready for this, Paul? It's a
yeah,
little bottle of
yeah. Tell me
water.
about that.
It's a little bottle. Um, it's kind of like this one. It's not this one, but it's kind of like this one. The bottle is tuned with very specific energetic signatures for skin and skin regeneration. Okay. So what you do, just take water. You don't have to have any special water, tap water if you like, bottled water if you like. Pour that into the bottle. Again, let that sit 60 seconds, and you can take that water and you can spray your hands. You can spray your face. We designed it for. It was specifically designed for skin regeneration, wrinkles. But in this study that we have, it's a beautiful thing. What we did, the uh, We show from within 3 weeks, I think it was, we had utilized someone's hand. I forget the age, close in their mid 80s, and they had all these liver spots. Are you familiar?
Yep.
So one hand had all these liver, both hands had all these liver spots all over. For 3 weeks, twice a day, daily, they would spray their hand just with water. That's all it is, just with water from that particular bottle. And within 3 weeks, guess what?
Gone.
The liver spots disappeared.
Wow. So what's
Hmm.
happening there?
Well, the body's functioning. The I'm going to just say it. The garbage that's in our body that keeps in our skin dissipates, gets flushed through the system. Therefore, we don't have the residue of all the past what we've eaten stuck in our skin.
Got it. Got it.
And
Wow,
so
this is
to this
really
very
cool.
day,
Yeah.
one hand is without liver spots, and one hand is originally the way it was before,
Just to show the difference?
just to show the difference. Yeah,
No
it's
kidding.
it's quite
Wow.
amazing.
I'll
So the
have to look at my
effectiveness
hand.
is fun. I mean, this is why I love what I do. I mean, if you want me to research for days, I can do it. I can do it, and I can go into a state of.
Sure.
I go to a cave because I know what's going to happen, and I'm so excited. This is the passion that I have to go and to share this with people. I mean, it may be hard on one side to communicate, like how could this be, but again, if you look at Star Trek, I mean, they were already conditioning our minds that one day this will be, the Jetsons. Remember the Jetsons cartoons? I mean,
Yes.
this will one day be a reality. And here we are at the verge, and in some cases, it's here. And so tuning element falls in that same line. And this is where my passion, my friend, comes from, is just to help people, to share with people, zero side effects, and we can live better without invasive modalities that are gentle to the body. Put on the product, forget about it, and go.
That's so interesting. I love that. That's so how did they get a hold of you? What's the best way to engage with you and find out more?
The best way is jump on our website, social media platforms, Tuning Element. I'll spell that TUNING and then Element, ELEMENT.com. You can find out our information there. You can call our office. We have a live person that will answer as long as from 9 to 4 in the morning, 9 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon, Monday through Friday. You'll find someone here that will actually get your phone. We'll call you back, and you can ask all the questions. You can get samples of our patches. We'll send them out to you before you try the jewelry, because some of the jewelry gets really high up there depending on the level and what it's designed to do. But you can get a patch of it, and let me tell you, we'll send it out, and then you can experience it for yourself, whether if what I'm saying has you know any value or not. Try it before you buy it.
And what's the difference between, I was looking over here, what's the difference between like a level 4 and 5 or level 3? Is that just it has more frequencies in it and more, is that the difference?
But part of it, yes, and part of it is the way the body functions. So 3 is going to focus on cognitive function, cognitive health, stress related. That goes for the daily person, the person that's family and school and work and all of these different things. But the level 4 and level 5, they get into very specific systems of the body. The 12 systems of the body is in the level 5, and that's where I'm saying this one is a level 5 patch. You can get that as a sample there. Then you can, and then of course our level 4s. We also have those in a sample patch form. And level 4 is our most popular product. It's the most effective for the price point. But the level 5, Paul, the level 5 is the type of product like this. Let's say you've gone around and you've lived a few days of your life, and you've seen a few doctors, and they've told you they can't help you. This is all they can do for you. Just deal with it, or not, but that's it. When you put on the level 5, you will notice a difference significantly, so much to the point that you can do things you couldn't do a few minutes prior. That's how significant the level 5 is. So all levels will work. You'll all notice a benefit from the levels, but as they go up in the level, you'll be able to experience pretty quick, within minutes, from one product level to the next. And then you'll be able to determine what if you go to our store here in Branson, you can definitely walk in there and go through a demonstration, and you could notice, level 5's not for me, level 4, level 3 is even better. And you'll be able to test those jewelry, and you can noticeably feel the difference within the product lines. I'll tell you, it's amazing. It's so fun. You either you come out of our store laughing or tears of joy. I'm telling you, it's that fun.
Wow. Wow. What's the address of your store?
It's right in the middle of on the Branson Strip at the Grand Village, next to and I don't have the address off the top of my head, but it's on our
That's okay.
website. But it's at the Grand Village Shops, which is right next to Walmart and right there by the big aquarium, by the big octopus. Go in
Yeah. The
there
aquarium. Yes.
by the big aquarium, by the big purple octopus, and they will take care of you. We got some professionals that been with us for a number of years.
Fantastic. And it looks like the level 4 sample pack of 3 is free, and they just pay shipping out there to them,
Mhm.
which shouldn't be much with that. So
Oh,
that's fantastic. So I would encourage people to order a level 4 sample pack and try it. Give it a whirl. Right?
right on. Yeah, without a doubt. And don't take my word for it, but experience that, and then you can determine. And even better than you, put it on grandma. Put it on mom and dad.
Yeah,
Put it on the dog. The dog's not going to lie. The dog will tell you if you got a hurt dog that's old or what have you, and again, we have patches designed for, and even clips, they're designed for animals. Put it on them and see what happens. I can go on testimony after testimony. We've worked in the equestrian world for years, and I can tell you all kinds of amazing things. But animals won't lie.
that's right. That's right. Well, all right. Well, awesome. Sean, this has been incredibly informative and just fun to see. I love your energy about this, of course, and enjoy your friendship. So thanks for being on the podcast today. And do you want to give a phone number to call if
Yes,
they want to call in?
yes. 417 973 0000. And I'll repeat it once again, 417, area code 417 973 0000. That'll get you directly to our phone with someone there, and you can leave a message and we will get back to you. If not that day, usually that works, or the next day, we'll get back with you, okay?
Okay. Fantastic. Fantastic. All right, Sean, again, thank you. Sean Martinez with the Tuning
Thank you.
Element, everybody. Thanks for being with us.
Appreciate you. Bye bye.